Hello, Cancer. Welcome to February. This is Gwendolyn. Welcome back to the channel, or if it's your first time here, welcome. This video is going to be a monthly Tarotscope for Cancer for February. And I just want to announce that I'm going to be doing something fun for February. I am starting a new project, which is compatibility videos for each of the sun signs. So I've already done one of those, but I will continue uploading those throughout February, so stay tuned if you want to see those. And I already did the reading for Cancer. I did the shuffling and laid them out, but I realized I forgot to hit record. So I am going to just go through the reading now with the cards that I initially did it with. And these, I think it's actually going to be a nice time for you at the end of February, Cancer. So let me go ahead and start with what I see here. At the beginning of the month, some of you Cancers may be feeling a little bit emotionally depleted at the beginning of February. And the reason I'm saying that is that we've got Queen of Cups in reverse and the Ten of Cups in reverse. But what I want to talk about first is the moon. This is a very Cancerian card. It's actually ruled by Pisces and Neptune, but you can see here it's all about emotion. So it's allowing this crustacean, it's either a crab or a lobster, but it's allowing this creature to come up from the depths. And what this represents is deep feelings, feelings, deep-seated feelings, feelings that may be living in the subconscious. So what this card is about is allowing those feelings to come up in the gentle light of the moon and to test them out, to find this middle path. There's two sides to this, which is the domesticated side or the wild side. So sometimes it can be looked at as like, this is the left brain, this is the logical, rational, analytical, practical side, and this is more of the wild side, like more right brain. Can be irrational, can be passionate, can be like, according to just feeling. It's kind of like left brain, right brain, practical versus wild and inspired. And all of us have both sides to this, of ourselves. So what this card is about is finding what's true, finding what is illusion and what's not illusion, what is stable and constant versus what is changeable. As we know, the moon can sometimes present itself as illusion because it's not actually light that's coming from the moon. It's from the sun. But the illusion is that the light comes itself from the moon. So, and the moon changes day to day. It goes from new, it waxes, it goes to full, it wanes. So it's constant changeability, like our emotions. But it's an opportunity to find that stable central path that's depicted here in the card by balancing what is what is stable, practical, what is wild, what is passionate, finding that balance between being inspired and passionate and wild and being domesticated and thoughtful and rational. So it's really the card of allowing those emotions to come up during that gentle light of the moon. It's not the harsh light of the sun, which can sometimes feel like being in the spotlight, being on stage, all of that. This is more like quiet. This is safe. This is allowing that to come up. And one of the things that I noticed with these cards in reverse, there's Queen of Cups in reverse and Ten of Cups in reverse here, which have to do with, I'm really reading this card as you, Cancer. And sometimes it could be any water sign like Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, but I'm really reading this as you because I see her pearls here in her crown, on her earrings, on her dress. And pearls to me are a very Cancerian symbol. They've got that sort of moonstone looking quality, that lustrousness, which you are the moon children of the zodiac. So I'm seeing this as you, and I'm seeing this too as this is Ten of Cups, which normally means feeling emotionally fulfilled. It's the most amount of cups that can be on a card. It's like the treasure at the end of the rainbow. And you can see there's this happy couple. So this is a card usually of family, of peace, of emotional fulfillment, of feeling domestic bliss, all of that. But with these in reverse, I'm kind of seeing that the waters are pouring out, or you're feeling like your rainbow is like pouring out of the cup, that the waters that are normally the emotional stuff that's usually in the cup is draining out. So that's why I'm getting some of you may start February as being emotionally drained. And it's understandable because you are very sensitive creatures. You know, you're a water sign, which is emotional in basis. And with all that's going on in the world, or potentially your environment or in relationships, I'm just getting a little bit of feeling emotionally off balance or feeling emotionally drained. But it's a good opportunity with all of that water depleting out. It's a good opportunity to actually like cleanse yourself. If you think about like a washing machine, you know, water comes in and water goes out, and in the meantime things get cleansed. Same thing with when things are depleted, when water levels go down, it gives us access to deeper feelings. If you think about a lake and its water levels are going down, the creatures at the bottom, like this lobster or like this crab, have a better opportunity to come up for air. You know, they're closer to the surface. So right now, your subconscious feelings, this could be stuff from childhood. This could be stuff that you just aren't even aware of, or that you don't want to look at, or just things that you, like if you think about feelings that may have been living with you since you were a child, or deep-seated emotions, this can come up right now. And it's safe for it to come up, because it's in the gentle light of the moon. So I want to offer to you, Cancerians, that the beginning of February is a nice time to do some emotional cleansing, because even if you feel emotionally off balance or like emotionally not yourself, sometimes this can show up as depression, or it can show up as just feeling like your heart is low or suppressed or depleted. It's a nice time to access deeper emotions quietly, maybe at night, maybe just in your own way. So, and some of you may be feeling this question of like, can I make it through this? I don't know if I can do this anymore. I don't know if I'm going to survive this. That's normal when Nine of Wands comes up in reverse, because this is the survivor card. This guy, I always mention the Buddhist saying, fall down 7 times, stand up 8. When this card comes up, I call him my cool hand Luke card, because he keeps getting knocked down and keeps getting back up. And I also like to mention this Beckett quote, which says, ever tried, ever failed, never mind, try again, fail better. So this really is a card about that, where you keep getting knocked down, but you keep getting back up. That's why he has endurance. That's why he's the survivor. He doesn't accept defeat ever. So it can be a card. Sometimes in the Rider-Waite, he's got a bandaged head. So it can be a card of feeling wary, feeling cautious, feeling like on the defense, like looking over your shoulder, who's going to come at me next. But ultimately, he's a survivor card. He is the one who doesn't give up. He's got this armor on. So if any of you are feeling that way, of not being able to access that survivor energy, that I'm going to endure this, I'm going to live through it, I'm going to survive this. If you're having questions about that, or feeling like, I don't know if I can do this anymore, I don't know if I can survive this, understand that he's in line with these in reverse. So that you may be feeling that, if you are, because of this emotional depletion. And as you attend to this is what will refill your cup. The Moon card, you know, it's so funny. Even the Moon card has pull and tides. If you think about how the moon pulls on the ocean tides can really affect our emotions or what's going on. This is again an opportunity for you to allow this deep-seated emotional stuff to come up for air and find balance and find out what's true, what's sustainable, what is consistent, and what's illusion, what is fantasy, what is, you know, changing from moment to moment versus what is solid. So as you do this, Cancer, at the beginning of the month, this stuff starts to turn around. Then your cup gets filled back up. You know, the rainbow starts filling your cup up, and you feel like you can survive. So I'm going to encourage you to look at the opportunity to let these things come up. And I think that's going to make you feel a lot emotionally better. If you're feeling drained, or if you're feeling like you can't do it anymore, just allow your feelings to come up and allow them to just be reviewed. See what's true and see what's not true for you. Then at the middle of the month, I see there's some way in which, this is Two of Swords, I see there's some way in which you may be having difficulty making a decision or taking action on something. This card is called Willfully Blind, or I sometimes call it Indecision or Dilemma. And it's a card of when you can't choose between the left and the right, when you can't choose between, I don't know whether I want this one, I don't know whether I want that one, therefore I'm not going to choose, I'm just going to be blindfolded and check out. Like, I'm just going to stand in this spot forever. I'm not going to choose between these two swords. And it's very challenging to take action when you have a sword in each hand. It's almost impossible to fight. But if you put down one of the swords and take off that blindfold and move forward, that immediately takes you out of stagnation. That's immediately taking action in one direction. So this is remaining in place. For some of you, it may be like choosing between two lovers, or choosing between being faced with a choice between like career versus love, or it could be any two choices that you're struggling with. So I'm going to suggest that instead of being consumed with trying to make the right choice, just choose one for now and then take action. Once you get momentum, you actually have a lot of momentum building here towards the end of the month, and I'll talk more about that in a second. But with Two of Swords here, and with Justice in reverse, it's saying that you don't know how to render a verdict towards something right now, or there may be some injustice, like, you know, you feel like you're being unjust in making a decision between one thing or the other, or you're having a hard time weighing the balance, you know, weighing the evidence. Justice has to do with weighing evidence and making a decision, declaring a verdict. You know, she has to do with accessing the truth. She's been able to choose just one of the swords, which is the truth, and render a verdict. When Justice is in reverse, it's like saying you're having a hard time finding the justice in a situation, or you're having a hard time rendering a verdict, having a hard time making a decision. Justice in reverse here and Two of Swords is sort of like that hung jury feeling, when half of the jury thinks one thing and half of the jury thinks the other thing. It's like, I see the benefits of this side and I see the benefits of this side. It's like weighing pros and cons. So instead of getting stuck there, Cancer, which is a potential with both of these cards showing up, I'm going to encourage you to take action, to just choose one, just for the time being, just as a way to break out of indecision. And you can change your mind later. But if you at least go in one direction, choose one option, that's going to help break you out of this stagnation, stasis, this like weighing things forever, where you can't actually do anything because you're too busy weighing things. So just try it out. Try choosing one sword and pulling off that blindfold and just going forward with it. I'm also saying, because I see this card, Three of Coins in reverse, this has to do with creativity. I think some of you may be experiencing at the middle of the month creative blocks, or you know how they say writer's block, or just having like a, you know, that feeling of when you've got a blank canvas and you don't know what to start, or even a blank page and you can't seem to write down the first words. It's kind of got that feeling to it because this is creativity. Three of Coins. It's creative expression. It's group projects. It's working on stuff. It's creating things. It's building things. So with this in reverse and with Two of Swords coming up, it's saying like, I don't know which way to go with this. I don't know where my inspiration is. I don't know whether to go left or right. I don't know I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. So, and also with this Queen of Rods in reverse, it's saying you might be not at the height of your boldness, of your creativity, of your personal passion and drive. Queen of Rods is the master of fire energy. So she's bold, she's confident, she's attractive, she's creative. She's got this sunflower here, which is like a symbol of Leo. She's got all this sunny energy to her. But with this in reverse, it's saying that you might be having a hard time accessing that part of yourself, Cancer. Potentially, this could be also a fire sign. So this could be Leo, Sag, or Aries. But for some reason, I'm reading it here as you feeling a little dampened in terms of your own confidence, your own boldness, your own creativity. And it may be affected by feeling emotionally drained. But what I also will say is that this here, middle of the month, is an opportunity to play, to experiment. If you are feeling a challenge in making a decision about something, if you are feeling like writer's block or a creative block, I'm going to offer to you that it could be an opportunity for you to get out of your head and just play. So just write down 3 words that you're feeling as a way to just get that page not to be blank page, or just throw one color onto the canvas, even if you don't know where you're going with it yet, or just to write down a few chords or lyrics that you don't necessarily know what the song's going to be about. Whatever your creative process is, because you Cancers are usually pretty creative people, play with it, experiment. Don't allow this to stop you, even if it feels like writer's block, creative block. Even if you feel dampened in terms of your confidence or your boldness, when you allow yourself to play or experiment at the middle of the month, it all comes super fast towards the end of the month. This is 8 of Wands, which is swiftness. This is like having that key that unlocks everything. It's like having that last puzzle piece where the puzzle is finally completed. It's things being 80 to 90% lined up, getting that last piece of information or that last spark. It's sort of like when you access that creative spark, which is that rod that she's holding, that's fire energy, enthusiasm, all of that. When you get that, you don't just get one, you get 8 of them. I sometimes liken this card to a pot that finally boils after, heat's been putting into it for a while. It looks like nothing's happening. When this is happening, indecision, stasis, stagnancy, I don't know what to do. But this is like when that pot boils, even though it looks like nothing's been going on. And I actually see many of you Cancers burning the midnight oil on this project. You might be so inspired and so enthusiastic that you are totally engrossed, totally consumed, and surrendering yourself to this creativity, to this project. This Devil card has to do with surrendering to something else, being totally consumed, being passionate. Sometimes it can also mean being seduced by something or trading ourselves away to something, or feeling, it can have to do with addictions or obsessions, or feeling enslaved to something. But I really see this for you this month, Cancer, as being totally obsessed with your creativity, totally obsessed with and engaged with and passionate about and surrendering to this creative process. Some of you I'm seeing writing multiple chapters in one night. Some of you I'm seeing, producing a whole work of art in one night, or writing several songs. Whatever it is, I'm seeing this creative energy that is blocked or hesitant. This is non-inspiration, stasis, stagnancy. These 3 coins that are in reverse are echoed here in this. But this card is upright, and you can see he's burning the midnight oil. There's passion here. There's being fully engrossed, obsessive. It's happening at the end of the month for you. And this card is divine inspiration. If you look at the difference between this card, 2 of Swords, and this card, this is where one sword is chosen. This is the truth. This is Excalibur. This is divine inspiration. So I'm really seeing, Cancer, you may get some beautiful inspiration towards the end of February. And this is like the divine handing it to you, saying, here's the one idea, here's the new idea, because aces represent new things. New idea, new inspiration, new truth, new beginning, new idea. I think I might have already said that, but divine inspiration. This is an aha. Big, like I almost feel like those letters A-H-A, aha, could be written on this card. And that's what I get for you at the end of February, Cancer. So I see this as if mid-month you feel stuck or stagnant, especially to do with mind stuff, rendering a verdict, making a decision, going in a certain direction. You will create this momentum by experimenting and playing, trying to access your creativity, your personal power. It's not going to come easily necessarily, but if you play and experiment and not have to have it be decided by the mind ahead of time. One of the things that's coming up for this is the mind can be a wonderful tool, but a horrible master. So put the mind aside, access, the more right brain side of you Cancers are very creative. So access that and play, experiment. And then boy, does it come, like this is like turning a faucet on and it all comes at once. And then here at the end of the month, you have Four of Cups in reverse, which Four of Cups usually has to do with feeling aloof, feeling checked out, kind of like this card. But it has to do with like, oh, okay, here's the same old, here's the same old routine, blah, blah, blah. The sun comes up, the sun goes down. It's always the same thing. And so therefore, he kind of checks out and falls asleep. He gets bored. It's a really card of boredom. And so the weeds grow around him. And the weeds grow around, again, this creativity, this 3 number. But what this card is offering is that there's something new that wants to come in. There's some sort of new emotional energy, which is also passion, joy, peace, creativity, all of that. But you have to look up and out of yourself. You have to look up and out of your current situation, the way you normally do things, your routine, what is, what exists, what feels like it's always going to exist. There's actually more available to you, Cancer. But you do have to look up and out for it. And you may not be believing that that's even possible. With Four of Cups in reverse, it's sort of saying like you're totally encapsulated in this belief that things are always going to stay the same. Try not to give in to that. If you look up and out, shake things up, like drive home a different way from work, do something different, talk to someone different, talk to someone you've never talked to before, like a neighbor or a stranger, or shake it up, because this new love, this new passion, this new creativity, this new peace, again, this is like another ace right there. And by the way, this Ace of Cups means my cup runneth over. I feel emotionally full. That's available to you here at the end of the month, but you have to look up and out. You have to do something different. You have to change it up. That's going to really shake things up and open things up for you, Cancer. And I'm also seeing with these 3 cards in reverse, they're all yellow cards. And there's a block or a challenge to those. So yellow is usually optimism. So with those 3 in reverse, I'm going to say it may be challenging in February for you to stay optimistic, but it's going to be very helpful to you. If these all turn around, all of a sudden you feel like you can survive anything. You feel connected to your personal power, your boldness, your confidence, the highest version of your creative self. And then you also are able to break out of this weeds that are growing around you and look up and see this cup that's coming at you. So I'm going to offer to you the opportunity to try to stay optimistic, try to stay positive, try to stay sunny. Don't give in to cynicism or pessimism. That's not going to serve you in February, Cancer, because it's just going to drain you. If you can look at the optimistic side of things, there's a lot that's available to you. You can see these 3 cards will flip, and it will give you tremendous endurance, feeling feeling like a survivor, creativity, and receiving emotional fulfillment. So that's my reading for you, Cancer, for February. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up or share it with another Cancer that you know who you think might benefit from hearing that. And if you'd like to book a personal reading with me or check out my tarot course through Daily Om, feel free to visit my website. There's a link to it at the end of the video. As always, thanks so much for watching. Yours in the stars.